Welcome to Tales and Travel Adventures. Let's visit Washington, D.C. Hello, my name is Mary Beth Reidner. I am a retired librarian. In 2008, I developed a program called Tales and Travel. This is the seventh of a series of programs adapting Tales and Travel for online use by groups or individuals. There are two ways to use this program. First, you can just listen and follow along as I read the narrative that accompanies each slide. Or you or your partner can turn down the volume and use the controls to pause each screen so that you can read the narrative out loud yourself. You might also want to talk with your partner about what you are seeing or about any memories that come to mind. Our sightseeing trip starts as soon as we step off the airplane at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. In the distance, we can see the Washington Monument. We can also see the dome of the Jefferson Monument, just to the right of the Washington Monument. Our cab driver is taking us on the George Washington Parkway along the Potomac River. There is the Washington Monument again. I believe that those are the red brick towers of the Smithsonian Museum off in the distance across the Potomac. There's another glimpse of the Jefferson Memorial across the river. It is located on the tidal basin and is surrounded by Japanese cherry trees that bloom so beautifully every spring. We are now crossing the Potomac River on the Arlington Memorial Bridge. The Lincoln Memorial is directly ahead of us. The two large bronze statues belong to a collection of 4 statues called The Arts of War and Peace. Our first stop will be at the Capitol building. Here our senators and representatives meet to make our laws. George Washington laid the cornerstone for the building in 1793. The Capitol building has grown over the years as our country grew and more senators and congressmen were added. The iconic cast iron dome was completed in 1866. As the government continued to grow, the Library of Congress and the Supreme Court moved to their own quarters. Let's head inside and join a tour. If we had wanted to see the Senate and House in session, we should have contacted our senator or representative to get a gallery pass. We didn't do that ahead of time, but we can still go on a very interesting tour of the building. Our guide takes us to the Rotunda. This is the area under the dome. Many former presidents and other national leaders have lain in state here. Looking up to the top of the dome, we see the Apotheosis of Washington. This fresco, painted by Constantino Brumidi in the mid-1860s, is 180 feet above the rotunda floor. There is also a frieze of American history below the windows. Painted to appear as carved stone, the frieze depicts 19 scenes from American history. Next to the rotunda is the National Statuary Hall. It is a 2-story, semicircular room that holds 100 statues, 2 from each state. This is the old Senate chamber. It was used by the Senate from 1810 until 1859. It was also used by the Supreme Court from 1860 until 1935. Stepping outside on the west side of the Capitol, we can look down the National Mall towards the Washington Monument with the Lincoln Monument at the far end. The White House is just to the right of the Washington Monument. There are 2 more places to visit on Capitol Hill. First is the Supreme Court building, located just east of the Capitol. It was finished in 1935. Above the columns are the words, "Equal justice under law." Court is not in session right now, but we can sneak a peek into the chambers to see where our 9 Supreme Court justices sit, to listen to oral arguments and deliver their opinions. Well, I'm getting hungry, aren't you? Let's go down to the ground floor to have lunch in the cafeteria. I imagine the justices have a nicer dining room, but we might see some lawyers or clerks down here. Just down the street from the Supreme Court is the Library of Congress. The Thomas Jefferson Building was built in 1897. The library has 3 buildings on Capitol Hill, plus several other large capacity locations to hold its 170 million items. After the library's collection was destroyed during the War of 1812, Thomas Jefferson's personal collection of 6,487 books helped to restart the library. Another unique item in the library is a vellum copy of a Gutenberg Bible. This rare volume is one of the first books printed with movable type by Johann Gutenberg in Germany in 1455. It has been a busy day, so I will be glad to get to our hotel, the Capitol Hill Hotel on C Street. The rooms are quite nice. Tomorrow we will be visiting the part of the National Mall that is west of the Washington Monument. This morning we will be driving past the White House on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It has been difficult to visit the President's home since 9/11. However, I can take you back in time to 1974 when I visited the White House. This is me on the North Portico, also known as the President's front door. We find the Lincoln Memorial at the west end of the National Mall. A 19-foot-high statue of a seated Lincoln rests inside of this building, surrounded by 36 columns. A 2,000-foot-long reflecting pool extends to the east. Many large public gatherings have been held here, including Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech in 1963. The Vietnam War Memorial is located nearby. The names of 58,220 war dead are etched on the black granite Vietnam War Memorial, also known as the Wall. Nearby is a statue of 3 servicemen, depicting 3 soldiers of different ethnicities. There is also a women's memorial. We don't have time to visit the World War II Memorial, but I can show you this celebration of World War II veterans returning to Chicago after an honor flight in 2014. Since 2005, over 245,000 veterans have been flown into Washington, D.C. to visit these war memorials. Our last stop lies across the Potomac River on our way back to the airport. Arlington National Cemetery was established in 1864 and has about 400,000 graves. We have arrived in time to witness the changing of the honor guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The tomb has been guarded by the Army since 1937. It is considered a high honor to be selected to be a sentinel at the Tomb of the Unknowns. The guards are rigorously trained and must follow a meticulous routine regarding the number of steps to take and seconds to wait. Their creed shows their dedication. Sentinel's Creed. My dedication to this sacred duty is total and wholehearted. In the responsibility bestowed on me, never will I falter. And with dignity and perseverance, my standard will remain perfection. Through the years of diligence and praise and the discomfort of the elements, I will walk my tour in humble reverence to the best of my ability. It is he who commands the respect I protect. His bravery that made us so proud. Surrounded by well-meaning crowds by day, alone in the thoughtful peace of night, this soldier will in honored glory rest under my eternal vigilance. On this patriotic note, let's sing America the Beautiful as we leave Washington, D.C. The lyrics are taken from a poem written by Catherine Lee Bates in 1895 after a trip to the top of Pikes Peak in Colorado. Her poem was combined with music written by Samuel A. Ward in 1910. I will play the melody on my flute, and you can sing along using the lyrics on the following two screens. You sounded great! If you want to sing the song again, just rewind the recording back a little way. If you are using this program with someone else, the next screen will make some suggestions for starting a conversation about Washington, D.C. Have you ever visited Washington, D.C.? Do you have any family or friends from Washington, D.C.? What do you think of when you think of Washington, D.C.? The Capitol? The White House? The Supreme Court? Monuments? History? Anything else? You are welcome to download and print this word search puzzle to play offline or share with friends. If you are artistically inclined, you might enjoy finding free coloring pages online. Try doing a Google search with terms such as Free Coloring Pages Washington, D.C. Then copy and paste an image into a word processing document and print it. Thank you for visiting Washington, D.C. with me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me at my email address. I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to fill out a brief survey about the value of this program. This work can be freely used under this Creative Commons license. Thanks again for coming with me to visit Washington, D.C., and I hope you have a wonderful day.